But what I know is I'm feeling just fine. My life is like a red carpet, and I'm feeling like the richest millionaire. This is my local mayor, and I'm the biggest star around here. Oh, shoot, that hurt. What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscribe or die trying. You see the thumbnail, man. Polyamory parenting. So polygamy is when a man has multiple women. Basically, polyamory is when women have multiple men. And I thought about it in the sense of parenting, where in some ways you can say that there's a demographic of single moms out here who are just polyamorous people parenting. You know, they wanted a baby that looked a certain way, so they had sex with a certain type of guys to have a baby. Now, they had the baby, they're pregnant, they got the baby, they had the baby, they know what the baby looks like, they like that, cool. So now it's time to separate the baby from the father because you didn't want the father, you wanted the baby. So now, since you got the baby, you don't need the father per se. Now you get to meet another man, another woman who you want to be the personality type to take care of that, let's just say, newborn or months-year-old baby. So then, you do that, and maybe that kid, that now the kid goes from newborn to toddler to to pre-K to kindergartner. And by that time, you decide, you know what, I don't love this person anymore. Let me find somebody new. So now you find somebody new for this kid's first grade experience, right? So you like their personality and you like the way they're raising, helping you raise your kid or whatever. And it might go good from first to fifth grade or first to eighth grade. And then we're going to break up. We're going to move on, move out. It's not perfect. I need somebody to mentor this kid and train this kid in a different skill set, a different way. So now they're in high school, it's a different situation, and now you want a different type of person to parent them. You want a different quote unquote parenting style with somebody who's 9 times out of 10 not their parent. And then we want to play this game, because everybody you love is supposed to love, cherish, and take care of you and your kids, but you have an underlying agenda. And your agenda is, you want your kids to be taken care of at all costs. Not necessarily for their best benefits, but for your selfish reason as wanting to have a good image in the public. So it doesn't necessarily come off as good and altruistic that some might think. So now this is why I'm talking about polygamy, polyamory parenting, because I remember watching a story with the brat and her, I guess, girlfriend, fiance, wife, I don't know. They had the baby, and and I was telling my lady, I said, if this baby's a boy, before it was found out it was a boy, I was like, this is gonna be a problem, because you have two ladies who have a boy, and they don't necessarily know how they don't know how to raise a man. They don't know what a man is in that aspect, because for the most part they're lesbians. You get what I'm saying? So how they gonna teach that boy manhood? They're not really gonna be able to in an environment full of women who like women. So let's just say those people might need help from outsiders, and unfortunately the kid becomes a tool or a pawn for everybody, because everybody that mom dates is supposed to pour into this kid, and everybody mom breaks up with is supposed to stop right there. And how can I say this? A lot of this creates commitment issues, because if people could come and go on a whim, in your life, it becomes a thing where, okay, I'm not worth staying around for. I'm not worth sticking around for. So some people act out. Some people become very introverted. You get what I mean? Some people wind up, even going down that let love be, and they experiment in all these different paths, and for the most part waste a lot of time and life, trying to find themselves when they're right there, because they see themselves as something more of a fantasy-esque. So that's a whole nother different dynamic of it. But you keep bringing new people that every time you're in love, your kid's supposed to be in love. You know what I'm saying? Every time you fall out of love, your kid's supposed to fall out of love. And it's supposed to be for the kid's quote unquote best benefit and best interest and exposing them to a bunch of different things. But a lot of times what you're exposing kids to is confusion. Because you make kids start believing that every decision they make, they could change their mind. And unfortunately, because, there's always somebody else who will come along, there's somebody else new who could come along and love you. You get what I'm saying? So since there's always a possibility that somebody new coming in and fall in love with you, you're not really consistent and committed to the people who are actually doing the work. You're looking for somebody to do the words. And if they do the words good enough, you fall for it. But 9 times out of 10, these people work because their work precedes them. So if their work precedes them and you know what it is, you know what it's about, you know how they conduct themselves and handle themselves, but the way you want to date and parent is you want to plug in people, when you're on a roller coaster of emotions. If you're going through this is the kind of person that your child needs. If you're going through that, that's the kind of person your child needs. If you're going through that, that's the kind of person your child needs. So you dating with the idea of in some ways parenting, but the way you're parenting is just based off of your messed up dating life. So it normally doesn't end well. But tell me what you think. Like, share, subscribe, or die trying. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace. You ever been at the top of the universe? I'm gonna take you.